Are you telling me if I technically burnt down your base?
Yeah, but good, good, probably 75% of it. Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Hermit Skies. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm having a great day. That little clip you saw at the very beginning, that is from a tour that I did with Xisuma. We hooked up, I toured his base, he toured my base. You will find a link to his tour of my base. Yes, you'll find a link to his tour of my base on his channel today. So go check that out if you want to see the entire tour where I was showing him around my place. And for the majority of this episode, we're going to be taking a look at X's place, and it's super cool. It's amazing. But I want to talk a little bit first about Hermit Skies. As many of you know, I started a new modded series yesterday, and we did a poll in the last Hermit Skies episode about should we end Hermit Skies and start a new modded series, or should we continue Hermit Skies? And the poll results were fairly clear. I'll put the poll on the screen for you. As you can see, the majority of people definitely said start a new modded series and end Hermit Skies. However, I was talking with some of the other hermits, and part of the reason that I was kind of willing to end Hermit Skies, even though there's still a bunch of stuff that I want, well, I shouldn't say a bunch of stuff that I want to do, but there's a bunch of stuff that I could do and that I have ideas for, and I certainly could do more Hermit Skies episodes. I'm still feeling inspired. I'm still enjoying Hermit Skies. The big reason that I was like, well, I'm fine with ending it is because I was under the impression that there was only going to be like one or two hermits continuing. Not including myself. There aren't going to be any more mini-games. That's been ended, essentially, for a number of reasons, and that's totally fine. The build team has done an amazing job. Iskull's build team did a great job with the mini-games, but they were very, very time-consuming, so I can understand why they would need to stop. That's totally fine. They were very time-consuming to make. They did a great job, and they have other things to work on as well, because they don't just work on stuff for Hermit Skies. They do many, many other things. So there's not going to be any more mini games, I don't think, unless we, the hermits, make them, which, you know, is certainly an option. We might do that. But there's still going to be quite a few hermits who are continuing to play, I think. I know Xisuma's going to continue. Tinfoil Chef just got started. Cub Fan's still planning on going. I mean, there's going to be several people still playing. I still haven't fixed this stupid hole in my roof. But basically, what I've decided to do, obviously, we're starting a new modded series. The first episode of it came out yesterday, FTB Horizons 3. Get hyped. It's going to be amazing. Super excited for it. But I think what I'm going to do is I do still want to keep Hermit Skies around, because we still have a lot of work to do around the base and a lot of other things that we could do. You know, as far as like building and, you know, interacting with other people and all sorts of stuff. There's other things that I still want to do in Hermit Skies. And there was one suggestion that was left several times in the comments of that poll video. And the suggestion was start a new modded series, but move Hermit Skies to like once a week. So there won't be as much Hermit Skies, but it's still going to be a part of the channel. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of restructure my video schedule a little bit, where previously I've done, for quite a while now, I've been doing stuff on basically just like how would I even explain this? A time between episodes schedule. So like every other day or every day or something like that. I'm going to restructure my schedule so it's going to be based on the day of the week. So it'll be like Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays will be FTB Horizons. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays will be Welsknight and Wifey Play Arcs, etc., etc., etc. And one of those days, probably on a weekend, I'll probably do like Saturdays, will be Hermit Skies. So we're actually going to keep Hermit Skies because there was still quite a few people who were interested in keeping it, and I'm still having fun with it and enjoying it. So I figured, you know what, why not? We can do Hermit Skies. We'll just do it once a week instead of doing it every other day or daily or whatever. And then we'll start up a new modded series as well. And I think I'm totally fine with that. And I think that's kind of a nice compromise, because I know there were still quite a few people who wanted to keep Hermit Skies, and that's going to be the plan. Hermit Skies is not going to end. We're going to keep doing Hermit Skies. We're going to do some more building and stuff around the base and all sorts of fun stuff, and I'm looking forward to it. But without further ado, I did take a tour of Xisuma's absolutely amazing base, so let's jump into that. And, I hope you enjoy it. If you do, make sure you send some love to X for me, because he's done an incredible job. Hello, Xisuma, my friend.
Hello, Wells. How is it going?
Wonderful. I heard you're having a housewarming party.
I am. You're invited, Sorry about burning down your base.
It's okay. I forgive you. Friends forgive.
Oh, my base has endured no such punishment. I haven't used any wood.
Yeah, don't worry. It's
maybe a tiny bit.
The insurance covers it. It's okay. My insurance people will be in touch with your insurance people. It's all good.
Merry Christmas from Jevin. Is he giving me some sort of counterfeit coins?
He's giving you
They're counterfeit coins for the Welsknight. Look.
I think they're legitimate. They look legitimate to me.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'll have to go over there and do some more spending then.
Have at it. That's what it's there for.
So you like I are playing the pack with the base in mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people just like to set up on the little platform and do all the tech grinding.
Mm-hmm.
I've really enjoyed checking out your base. I hope you're going to enjoy checking out my base. I've come to this with like a bit of a plan and a concept, like I've seen you've got going in yours as well. So I think your people are going to like this. They're going to like what they see.
I like what I see.
So before I really even got going at all, I had this plan that we were going to have the starter island and that I was just going to build a frame around it with like these little sections for rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to pick out a build palette and then I was going to build it up so there'd be multiple floors. And now I've got a ceiling on it. So it kind of feels like you're in the dark if you look up.
Mm-hmm.
But there are actually blocks up here.
Oh, yeah.
So the first floor that I built was this one right here. So we should probably just walk around it in a circle and then you'll see all the things that are going on here. So this is my storage / interface area where you kind of can see everything that's going on, right? You got a crafting panel thing. Are you able to interact with that?
Nope. Oh, yep.
Yeah. Okay,
wait.
excellent.
But I think it opens to mine.
That's something I cannot explain.
I click on the ME terminal. Unless
Can you
have
take items out of yours?
Maybe?
I have 1.1 million diamond nuggets.
Oh, no, this is definitely yours because I have more than 9 nether stars in mine. So yeah, this is definitely yours. Okay, so I can get into your system, I guess.
So you found it. So I saw that you had discs in your one. I decided what I was going to do was just build an array of frame drawers, fill them all full of upgrades, and then that's how I use it. So these drawers sort of stretch around the back here, and there's like a behind-the-scenes area where there's some ME stuff and import chests and trash can systems for getting rid of junk. And then at the very back over here, compacting drawers. There's a cobblestone generator that goes into the drawers automatically to compact it all.
Yep.
Just straightforward, easy way of doing stuff. Same for the loot bags as well, actually.
Yep.
Do you find you always end up with loot bags in your inventory when stuff spawns in your base?
Yep. I have those compacting as well. I actually have an array of storage drawers too.
All right, cool.
But I have
it's a good way of doing stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, I like a combination personally because then you don't end up with like right here you have 1 emerald horse armor.
Yes.
You don't have that taking up a full slot in your storage drawer.
Well, that's the thing, though. I haven't actually used all of this up yet, and I probably won't. I've made a bit of a mistake over here where I haven't put in upgrades. You can see that stuff's just going into lots of drawers. But as long as, here's the thing. Every now and then I can just have a look at how many items are taking up 1 slot and pull them all out. So with a little bit of maintenance, it means I don't have to, get deep into another mod to store my items. That was kind of my approach. It's working for me, but if you were... I don't know, collecting a serious range of items, then it probably wouldn't be the right solution,
Yeah. It works, though. I mean, storage drawers, the fact that storage drawers, you can just hook them up with a drawer controller to your system.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's seriously helpful.
Yep.
So alongside there, I do have a few extra chests full of random items and stuff. This is one of the first little projects, just an obsidian generator. If you've done it like this, when you take out all of the obsidian and the lava starts to disappear from these fluid conduits, it lags like crazy. It is so bad. So I'm not going to touch that right now because it will destroy the frames in this area. But yeah, it's just the basic fluid conduits from Ender.io. If they have like tiny amounts of liquid in them, they just start lagging when they update. It might just be the lava doing lighting updates. I'm not sure. It's really bad. Over here, there's a clay one. You drop in dust and it turns it into clay.
Yep.
Nice and easy. Behind you over here, we have one of 2 accidental mob farms. So I saw that Endermen were like in my smeltery and creating molten ender. And so I thought that they were taking damage in here and that's why there was that liquid in there. So I made an Enderman Spawner, which I can turn on like that. And I thought that they were, you know, like producing the liquid ender. But actually what they do is they drop ender pearls. And when you drop items into a smeltery, it treats it like you put it in through the controller. So, you know, it's a bit of a weird one. It kind of did what I want, but not in the way you might expect. If you press F7 as well, it's not actually the same on this side anymore. Well, I'll show you it when we get to it. On the other side, there's like a bit of an accidental mob farm going on. So anyway, like I've got these platforms that are 9x9 and I want to dedicate each platform to something different. So when I went through to the Nether, I gave it its own portal and decorated it. And that's what this part here is dedicated to, you know? Fighting the Wither. Got a little Wither fighting station. The last time I fought it and killed it, it blew up and it actually like destroyed a lot of the base around here and I had to rebuild it.
So in this mod pack, we have the hardcore Wither mod.
Yes. Yeah, and it gets harder and harder.
It gets harder every time. Yep. I actually didn't show you my automated Wither killing, but that's okay.
Yes, well, I've automated it a few different ways. Did you automate it using Draconic Evolution?
I did. Yep.
That's the way I haven't seen yet. I might do that myself, although I don't think I'm going to need to automate it because we can grow, you know, nether stars now.
Yep.
You probably recognize the portal, but I've made some like custom blocks using, I think that's cyan wool and stone bricks together, you know, just to give it its own like unique portal feel.
I like it.
There's another portal here. This one goes to the end, just, you know, chiseled in bits, a bunch of stuff around it. So it's got its own little like temple to go through.
Very nice. Oh, I like these, the black stained glass stairs as well.
Yeah, they're really cool.
That's very
I think
cool.
It would have been smart to have chiseled them even further so you could walk up them smooth because you can barely see them and you just zip up it.
Yeah. It works though. I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's a nice little touch. This is supposed to look like a portal, but it, you know, it doesn't go anywhere except into this back room. And this is my like mementos room for all the mini games. So we've got the, yeah, the portals to the games. I deliberately like moved them into this space. I've got the heads from the first game where we did some PvP together, and then, you know, I was hoping to add more, but the games are no more, unfortunately. So that project is staying as is. Over here, you know, grid power generation.
Yep.
Apparently there is some efficiency loss here.
There is.
It's telling me.
I
do not know what that is. I've not seen that before.
Oh, really? Yeah, there's some. The watermills are a little funky, like as far as how you get them running at max efficiency and stuff like that. It's a little goofy.
I thought I had them running at max efficiency, but never mind. So next portal, the Deep Dark. That right there is how you make demon ingots.
Yep.
Do you know the trick?
I do.
Oh, and do you like this? Is this cool, the way you go through? And it's like... Yeah, that's using...
I think you're missing...
It's not... Right, that's deliberate. If you look up, it will make sense.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, shield projector using glass block, right? And then you get this kind of like... If you look very carefully and just sort of float up a little bit, you'll notice that there's like a bit you can see down the middle at the top.
Yep.
And that's because you need a block to connect going all the way down.
Yep.
If that thing worked wirelessly, then you could do wonders with it, like fog effects and things like that.
That's clever.
But, that's the Deep Dark. Over here, I can't remember where the on-off switch is actually. Oh, here it is. This is a blaze farm, so nothing too crazy. If you press F7, you'll see that there are some yellow and red spots in the inside there. Mobs will actually spawn in that liquid and get pushed down into the little mob grinding bit. Which is really weird because it was like an accidental mob farm that I built. And it turned out to be really handy because over time I just get, you know, stacks of bone meal and gunpowder and never built a mob farm like a proper one. There's no like dark room for spawning anywhere, but I've managed to survive without. So this is just a simple tree farm, but obviously the idea here is to make it look interesting. So One of the things I did in the base is I tried to make Ender IO conduits kind of look cool just by being there, you know, big bundles. I don't think any of these really do anything other than the item conduit, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
And
really
then
like
chiseled a bit some water.
I love the pipes.
They're cool, aren't they?
Yeah.
It was really fun to do that, but it's like the only time I've used it is just here. So, like, moving forward in the future, I'd love to find reasons to keep chisel and bitsing little things like that, you know, if you had a theme going on for your base. This right here is my apple tree. It's sort of like a token to the starting phase of the game where you're building platforms out of wood. You know, that's all it is.
Sure.
So I felt like leaving that there because it kind of goes back to the first few days.
Makes sense.
This was my original power source. So just using Stirling generators, fluid tanks, and lava and crucibles. This was like an early game power that was quite easy to quickly build up and, you know, just craft tons of stuff for it. So that provided me with power for a long, long time. Did a good job.
Very nice.
Automated sieving operation.
Yep. I actually never did that.
Oh, really? You bypassed that?
I did. I actually went straight from manual sieve to a quarry.
Ah, nice. Well, my planning was to, you know, like do this the best way I could. I think you'd like the setup. It's probably a bit much to go over the details of it, but to give you a basic idea, using the frame drawers to always store a large amount of each type of material that goes through all of these machines. So you can then send sand, dust, or gravel to the bit in the middle, and as soon as you do that, it just starts producing more. And then this is all hooked up into my storage system as well, so I can pull out the sand here if I need it. So, you know, behind the scenes, let's actually break this over here. Bam. So behind the scenes, you know, you've got a few extra bits back here. The whole base looks very different from out here.
Yep. That's okay, though.
As they always do.
They always do.
And this bit right here is just a bunch of compacting drawers. So, you know, like, it goes through the ender chest, goes straight into here, everything's stored. They got void upgrades in case it backs up. Just makes your life easier to work with having that there. So then Tinker's Smeltery, nothing too special going on over here. But what is special, I think, is this setup right here. So with Ender IO, you've got this block that I found called the item buffer. Have you ever used it before?
The item buffer. I don't know if I have.
Loads of them here. It's think of it as like a hopper / inventory space. Like you can configure it to push and pull. So if you look at the one here, it's configured to push and pull into the sag mill that it is alongside. Right, so it can put in things and it can take it out as well. And the same goes for these alloy smelters. So whenever I want to make, like, I'm going to go grab some golds. 1, 2, some redstone. 1, 2, glowstone, and then some ender pearls. So this is, like, you can automate this, what I'm doing, with other mods. But I think this is a really fun way of doing stuff. So if I go over to this item buffer here, and I just drop in these materials, right? So I'm going to put in 2 redstone, 2 glowstone, 2 gold, and then 2 ender pearls. What it's going to do is it's going to make the energetic alloys over on this side. It's going to push them back to the other side. And then when it's done making all of the energetic alloys, it's going to push that and the ender pearls back in so it can make them all the way up to vibrant alloys. And you can do that with a lot of stacks at once. So it's super powerful. It just allows you to rip out a bunch of materials and have it automated between 2 blocks, which I really like.
You know what this is?
Go on.
That.
It is, but it looks okay. You've got a point. You've got a point, but it looks cool.
Yeah, it's cool for sure.
You know, like, you have to then configure the conduit to point into the right place, right? With this, you can open up its interface and you can move it from one block to another. So sometimes I use it with the slice and splice as well, you know?
Yeah.
You're right. It's not. I just really liked it. I think the item buffer is a cool block.
I think it's cool too, and it certainly looks a lot better than having, you know, a conduit and a chest and a conduit and so on and so forth. But
it does look all right. Again, bunch of conduits here, just trying to make things look cool. This was sort of an idea, but I never really made it too consistent with all the different stuff that I've built. But to have a bunch of conduits deliberately on display, and then these are actually conduit facades, and there's a load of conduits behind there as well. So if ever you need to do any more advanced setting up, moving items from one to another, you can kind of get in there and control that stuff, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
So that is the first floor of the base. That all took me like quite some time to get through there, and then the second floor has come together a lot quicker. So I think the first thing I'll show you, I'll probably show you most of this in the order that I've like built it, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
So I've got a really cool setup here. Do you see that big thing directly behind you? What does it look like?
It looks like a soul binder.
It does. That's what it was made to look like. Now, if you look into it, I'm going to just turn it on for a second, and you should see wither skeletons start dying.
Yep.
Okay, so I got a beheading sword in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a mob beheader. It's got beheading 10, it's got reinforcement as well. And the idea is, again, I'm trying to do things different every single time. Yes, you can make like a mob farm with fans going into a beheading upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I did it over here. I made mob spawners that make soul vials.
Mm-hmm.
The soul vials get put into these frame drawers over here, and they've been painted to look like Ender IO blocks. I'm behind you, by the way.
Ah, there you are.
Here.
Okay.
So you got the mob spawners. Now it's been set up so after you send a few over there, it'll spawn them again and then fill it up. And then all you have to do is hit these levers. Like, you know, you want some zombie heads, you want some Enderman heads, and it sends through the soul vials, and then it starts spawning some more.
Very cool.
And the plan is to actually go ahead and add like a whole bunch of other mobs here, and then build another little thing on the other side as well.
Nice.
Yeah, just a different way of doing things, and I think it's really fun to do it like that. And now if you look in here, you'll just see the Endermen keep getting wrecked.
Yep.
They can't teleport away, they just get killed instantly.
Yep. You have a one of the Ender IO obelisks that prevents them from teleporting?
I don't. It's quick enough that you don't need it, but I'm aware of that thing, yeah. So that's that project. Then we got the battery project over here, okay? So, giant battery, made to look cool, put some liquids in it, you know, interesting looking blocks around it. It stores a reasonable amount of power. Not trying to go like super OP or anything, but the trick here is that on the side it tells you where all the power is going. So if you come look at Mystical, you can see that Mystical Agriculture is currently draining around like 90 RF per tick or something like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then on the opposite side, it shows you the other ones. But there's not a lot of stuff that runs around the clock. Like beheading is being used at the moment because I've activated the thing that I just showed you. So you can see the RF going up and down a little bit.
Gotcha.
Now, the way that you do this is with the upgrades inside the screens. You have the energy module, and what you need to do is attach that to a conduit. So if we come up the top here, there is an elevator block.
Aha!
Bam, up we go. This little room right here, which was sort of like decorated hastily, which is why it looks a bit odd. So these conduits are deliberately two across, right? Extract on one side, insert on the other, and you link that energy module to it, and then it will read the RF successfully.
Nice.
And then you've got these receivers pointing into it to turn the dimensional transceivers on and off. So the other trick is that from down below, you can hit the lever and you can turn the thing off. So if I wanted Mystical Agriculture to stop, I could just boom, do that, and it would stop draining the power.
Very nice.
Yeah, but I haven't really had any power issues or anything yet, so I just leave everything running.
Yep.
This in here was just a fun little project to do some decorational stuff, you know? Slime leaves going up and down the walls. It looks very different from the rest of the base, and then there's these little pedestals with the different charms on them. Did you just kill something?
Not recently. Like a minute ago.
I think it made a squishy sound when you jumped off the grass. It sounded like a slime dying to me.
Oh, it's probably the grass you're hearing, yeah.
Yeah. So then, next room around, Mystical Agriculture, using the different blocks here to, you know, just sort of show off that's what the area is about. Then down here is where we store the stuff. I've got a really cool system for storing and displaying this stuff. I don't know how you've done it, but what do you think of this system? Have you got any idea what it's doing?
Are we looking
just by looking at it?
Are we looking at this system right here, right in front of me?
Yeah, like look at how much of the Insanium stuff I've got. Like, So I'll explain it. You can tell me what you think of it. So if you look at the crafter at the top, the idea is that you have a crafter that makes all the different types, and then you move the items with priorities.
Yep.
So these are the first priorities, and when it fills up, it goes to the second one.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the second one pumps it back into the crafter. So it means you'll fill up the bottom essence, then it will start making the next one, and the one after that.
Yep.
And so that's how, like, once the first straws fill up, it just always makes Insanium.
Yep.
Which is really cool. But yeah, I'd not seen something like that before, so I was really pleased with it. But
very nice.
Maybe it's.
I have something similar.
Okay.
What I've got is I have several drawers dedicated to each of the essences, right?
Yeah.
And then I've got it set up with a little bit of redstone using applied energistics, where if there is X amount of the basic one in my system, then it will send it to the auto crafter to craft it.
Right.
Up.
So it's kind of the same thing, but in reverse.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, that thing's sort of independent of using applied energistics. So if you step onto the teleport thing, it takes you to where I grow all of this stuff. Haven't done a lot of detail here. I was actually planning on
I don't think I can.
Does it not teleport you?
It does not. Do you? Oh.
They are private channels.
Ah, that would be why. So what you need to do is go to the place.
Change it to public?
You could do that as well, temporarily.
Yeah, I'll go there and change them both.
Yeah, but you go to the matter receiver that you're trying to teleport to, and you can add a whitelist to it.
If I add... Oops, okay. Right, you should be able to use that now.
I teleported to something. Oh, yeah, this is it. Okay, that worked. Cool.
Okay, I'll add you to get back as well. So this is just easy build room. It took a bit of time to build it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was going to add a bunch of structural stuff around the middle so it weren't just floating, but I haven't gotten around to that yet.
Yep.
But this is just my setup for growing stuff here. And this is all deliberately positioned inside of a single chunk.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's far away, so the lag that is here doesn't affect my base.
Yeah.
Is the thinking. Because it's pretty laggy. There's 100 different... what are they called? Growth accelerators here.
Yep. And they get pretty crazy. I know. Well, you've seen my farm set up. That place can get a little ridiculous if you if you have it running at full capacity and everything.
Yeah, it can be pretty hectic. So yeah, it's a smart idea to build it away, and also putting it in one chunk just means you load one chunk instead of a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, if you come on back through, I think there's just one more thing to show you in my base.
Alrighty.
That's pretty much it. It's on the floor.
Yeah.
You'll see the little
I'm
box.
not sure which it's not dialed to the thing.
Oh.
So
it was for me, I just used it. Let's have a look. Oh, it never added you to the thing. There you go. You should be able to use it now.
Aha!
Hey, there we are.
Lovely. There we go.
And you're back.
I am back.
Awesome. So, last thing is just straight over the other side here. I just started doing some fusion crafting.
Ah, very nice.
Pretty obvious setup. Let's see. Got the things on either side with the cryo stabilized flux ducts.
Mm-hmm.
Then behind here, you see this battery on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to tell you how much power you're using, but the problem is it gets its power from the other battery, so it acts more like a buffer.
Yep.
And you don't actually see it get drained. But underneath this battery, there is where the power is coming from down the back here.
Yep.
It splits it up to send it to the two sides, and then you've got an ender chest where the items get sent into my storage system, and then you've got a redstone signal here that blinks every so often to activate it up the top.
There you go. Very nice.
So pretty simple set, pretty much the same as what you've done.
Very similar. Yep.
But again, trying to make everything look interesting, I've taken 3 of the sections of my base and spaced out the build and try to make it look fancy and all of that stuff. I think it turned out pretty good.
I agree. I think it looks absolutely awesome. This is the thing with Skyblocks is that often, you mentioned towards the beginning that a lot of people didn't really want to build a base and they just kind of, do all the techie stuff on their little starter island and, build platforms. And it's so easy to do that in a Skyblock because you just get sucked into the, well, I need this thing. And then suddenly you end up with this giant sprawling base of platforms, and you're like, man, it's going to be so much work to tear all this stuff down and and rebuild it.
Yeah, that's why you've got to start with the plan. You've got to go in knowing that you start doing this quickly, and that's exactly what I did.
I totally agree.
Executed it, and I had a few things on this little island here, and it literally did not take me a lot of time. As soon as I could get my hands on factory blocks, I started placing them, and once you get going, you just stick to it.
Yep.
And this, in my opinion, is just like so much better than having a super little janky platform full of stuff,
Yep. I think I waited until I had a quarry and the builder's wand. I waited for a quarry,
builder's wand is a good one.
Yeah, builder's wand, creative flight, and a quarry.
I didn't have creative flight or a wand. A lot of this first floor you're looking at, all of these blocks are placed one at a time, like me jumping up and down to place the ones at the top. Like, it was pretty rough, but I kind of enjoyed it at the same time. It was nice to just do some building and not rush into doing modded stuff. So
sure.
It works out pretty well.
Yeah, it works though. I like it a lot. I like this. It's lovely. I love the little 9x9s and the how everything kind of has its own little theme, but then it all fits kind of within the larger theme. I like it a lot.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. I've certainly enjoyed building it. That's for sure.
Well, good.
Well then. Thanks for coming by and checking out the base. Thanks for giving me a tour of your base.
Thanks for inviting me. It was fun. We should do this again sometime.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
We should do this on like a proper vanilla server at some point.
Yeah, if only someone had like a vanilla server with loads of hermits playing on it, that'd just be the perfect place, wouldn't it? And if I had a base that was on an island and you had like a castle or something, God, that would be
so cool. We should do that next season.
Next season?
Yeah.
So next season you're going to build a castle and I'm going to build an island?
Yes.
Sounds like a very good idea.
Deal. Let's do it.
Oh, let's do it. All right then. Thank you, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, X. It was fun. All right, guys. I am back. And that was Xisuma's base. I hope you enjoyed it. I thought it was incredible. It's interesting to see how two people who both kind of decided to focus on their base for this series, being myself and Xisuma, have taken things in different directions. I think it's really cool, and I think he's done an awesome job, and it was very cool to kind of see how he's done things differently than me and all that other kind of stuff. But anyway, guys, we are out of time for this episode, so I'm going to have to end this one here. Remember, if you want to see Xisuma's tour of my base, you can find that video on his channel, I believe today. There is a link to his channel in the description. But guys, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check those out as well. Otherwise, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.